The views and opinions of the King Life podcast do not reflect the views and opinions of WWSU Radio, Wright State University, nor their entities.
Hello, people, and welcome to the 11th edition of the King Life podcast with yours truly, Josiah Willis, alongside my co-host and good friend, Anthony Lombardo.
Hey, guys.
Today we will discuss Elon Musk making terrible decisions on Twitter, how it can affect the platform, the WWE crown jewel match between undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns and YouTube sensation Logan Paul, while a Roblox game developer got sentenced to prison for 2 life sentences for trying to groom a child. No thanks to Roblox. So for those who have been following the King Life podcast, me and Anthony here apologize for any inconvenience due to last week's episode not airing for our recent episode, which was called Movie Trailers, I believe.
Yeah, it was movie trailers. Sorry about that. We were, you guys don't care, but our schedule was kind of nightmarish where we would record Thursday and then upload Friday.
Yeah.
We just needed some more time to upload. Plus, we're going to try to start doing a bit more uploads in the near future with our episodes, trying to add some more visual elements to it. So
yeah, we're going to try to do some post-production for you guys and see if you can enjoy watching our video where it's more entertaining than just seeing a thumbnail logo just in the center of our videos from time to time. So trying to upgrade as much as we can.
But how's your day been, Josiah?
It's been good. Started off pretty well. Went ahead and ate some Waffle House. Waffle House was pretty good.
Nice.
Got me some good hash browns, and then I got me a Buckeye peanut butter chocolate chip pancake, and just stir it up.
Buckeye.
I think it's Buckeye.
All right.
I think it's called Buckeye. They told me it was Buckeye. I don't know if it's Buckeye or not, but. It was a peanut butter chocolate chip pancake. It's pretty good. It's actually very sweet.
I'm not a big fan of peanut butter. Sorry.
Well, that's your fault. I love peanut butter. And for those who love peanut butter with me, keep in mind, when you're black, you should always love it. You see what I'm saying there? You see what I said there?
Yeah, it's a requirement.
Period. It's a
Otherwise,
requirement.
You're not accepted.
You black, bro. You can't be black. You can't eat no peanut butter.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
But that's just me. No, I'm playing. So, Anthony, how was your day today, bro?
It was all right. I had one of those awkward interactions that you sometimes have in the cafeteria where I was getting some orange chicken. The orange chicken's there is good, by the way.
Chinese food?
Yeah, it's like crispy orange chicken where they actually put the sauce after they give you like the chicken nuggets. So
and then you get like fried rice, maybe like white rice or fried,
And I actually got fried rice.
Nice.
Sometimes it's but
it varies, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good today.
Pretty good.
But I was getting that, and then this guy was right behind me, and I ran into him when I was leaving with the stuff. He wasn't that far from me either. He was like damn near inches. And then he's the one that goes, bruh. He doesn't apologize. He doesn't do anything.
He's behind you, right?
He's behind me, and he goes, bruh, as though he was the one that wasn't in my direct way, and he doesn't want to apologize or anything. And I just had one of those internal things that I was like, bro, you're the one that was right behind me. That's your fault. I didn't say anything because I'm too polite, but I just got mad at the guy, and, that's one of the things. It just
overall annoyed you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
It's one of those experiences where it lingers for absolutely no reason. It's like,
I got you.
I'll show you.
Right.
I'll show you who's in the way.
I'll show you who's in the way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least he was absent around this time because you went upstairs just now and grab you a water bottle and some chocolate milk, with that True Moo brand.
Yeah.
And I was making a joke about him drinking that chocolate milk, and I was like, he's going to transform into an African American, and he's going to become black, you guys. So
yeah, you're saying I'm black on the inside because of that chocolate milk. Which
black
is
on the inside, bro. I was like, man, he got the True Moo. I'm like, all right, bro. I see you trying to become my brother. You trying to become my brother. You know what I'm saying?
You think True Moo's good?
True Moo's pretty good. I actually like True Moo.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of them sometimes. They started getting, like, sometimes good to all right, and then they would taste, like, real dark sometimes when I was in high school, and they just didn't always taste right. They didn't always make them right for some reason. I don't know why. It would be like them little small cartons of chocolate milk you would get from, in the cafeteria.
Yeah. I thought those were all right. I don't know. I didn't actually typically get them. I just got white milk.
Yeah.
I just felt like what I really wanted was water, but I just wanted something more refreshing
Sure.
than like chocolate milk with my meal. So whatever.
Sure. Yeah, man. Anthony, do you have our very first topic to discuss?
Yeah. Our first topic to discuss is actually Twitter. I think you're probably a bit knowledgeable about Twitter, right?
Somewhat. I know that Elon Musk recently bought out Twitter. It's been a trend for about a minute, you know what I'm saying? So I've been hearing about Elon Musk a lot.
Yeah,
lately.
he bought out Twitter. He actually bought it out in a very strange way. If I remember correctly, he sort of forced Twitter's hand. I don't remember exactly what he did, but he was forcing their hand. It was like something like a $17 billion deal. Maybe you want to look that up.
Good God.
But it was a crazy amount of money. Damn near for a joke, really.
Oh, wait, Anthony. He actually, bought it for $44 billion.
For
Man, that's a lot of money, bro.
what else it's saying?
So basically he fired other executives that were working behind Twitter.
Yeah.
Once he was able to gain acquisition. It took a while. At one point he may have pulled out, but then they forced his hand, or I think he got forced. How you said it about?
So yeah, he was forced to buy the company after all, after getting cold feet, because he he didn't buy it, they already went through the negotiations.
Right.
He would have had to pay a fine of around a few $1 billion. I don't know. I don't remember the exact number, but it was a decent figure for not purchasing anything. So he was also forced to buy it. And when you think about it, Twitter sort of had to tell him to do that because Elon Musk was trying to defame Twitter in a sense with what he was saying. He was like, oh, they're not giving me the proper information about all the Twitter bots and stuff. And it would have looked bad on Twitter if Elon had said that. So as a counter response, they were like, you have to buy us.
Yeah.
You cannot pull out. This is your deal. And so now he's kind of stuck with Twitter. And that is honestly very reflective in his current decision making.
Yep.
Recently, he has been making the decision to have certified users be a more paid subscription, which is ridiculous because who's going to pay for that? It doesn't even... Here's the thing. It doesn't even make you not have to deal with ads.
And how much do they charge?
$8 a month. What do you think about that?
It's a cheaper price, but it's ridiculous at the same time that I have to pay for my subscription through Twitter, even though I'm already verified.
Yeah, it's a cheap price, but guess the way he justifies it. It's hard to guess, but give me something.
I guess because they're not. I don't know. They're not doing something that he prefers or likes through Twitter.
So he tweets this out. This is what he tweets out. He says, like a meme thing of like, oh, people are willing to pay $8 for an expensive Starbucks drink, but they're not willing to pay $8 to be verified on Twitter, which is...
He wants to make more money than anything, don't he?
Yeah.
Because then that money go towards him, you know what I'm saying, for that.
So here's the deal. There's a very clear downward trend with Twitter. It is spiraling. The advertisers are pulling out of Twitter. They have very little confidence right now, and they want to see Elon Musk and Twitter. They want to see if they can curb all the stuff that they said they were going to do and do all these things. So at the moment, they're not touching it because they don't trust the direction it's going at the moment.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust it either.
So
I would not trust it. No.
Advertisements are not necessarily in Twitter right now. In an email to employees, I saw this on an article. I don't remember the article. My apologies. But it said on the article that in a email to all the employees, he said explicitly that they would need around half of their revenue to be subscription-based. Otherwise, they would not be doing very, very well at all for the quarter.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ridiculous if you think about it because they're assuming people are going to pay for this.
I don't think nobody's going to pay for it. I think Twitter, if no one's paying for it, then Twitter might just go downhill. It might not just even exist as a overall, now that he has it under his, ownership, he might want to change it. Change Twitter altogether, just change the name and the overall brand and whatever have you, and to make it more, I would say, accessible towards anyone that would go ahead and use it as far as social media-wise. But then again, when you're following towards that, because me and you, we just recently made our own social media accounts with Facebook and Instagram and then Twitter as well. So we're not necessarily verified quite yet, but
also that's going to be a weird thing because I'll tell you how it works. When you're verified, it pushes your results or your whatever, your replies, all that. It pushes that to the top and pushes the everything else to the bottom.
Right.
And that's concerning the new policy. The old policy didn't necessarily do that, but the new one is definitely doing that for $8 a month, all under the guise of saying, oh, this is for free speech, which is the exact opposite because you're paying to have your speech noticed by more people. It's,
ridiculous.
Weird side point. He allowed you to say the N-word now on Twitter, uncensored.
Uncensored?
Yeah.
So you don't even gotta be black to even say the N-word, really?
Nope. Yep.
You're lying.
I'm not lying. It was a big
what?
It was a big running thing on the internet a few days ago. Just a whole bunch of people on Twitter saying the N-word.
That what?
Yeah.
And they weren't even like African American, like being able to express that.
No, it's not. It's
That's
not like
crazy.
a bot's going to be able to tell one from another.
Right. That's fair. But at the same time, why would he even allow that? That's not even cool whatsoever.
His words for free speech and stuff.
That's not free speech.
It was kind of his idea from the beginning. If you paid attention to how he is.
I can't support his ideas going forward with Twitter.
He's a bit
and
oddball.
just using it and then going for it, like it's goofy. It's all the more difficult to hear what he has planned for it because at the end of the day, some of it kind of makes sense and some of it doesn't. Matter of fact, no, scratch that. None of it makes sense whatsoever to me.
Yeah,
at all. I'm sorry.
He's the one who wanted to buy it. And also, the way he responds to criticism is kind of goofy.
I want to hear this.
The way he does it is he just makes tweets. That's it. He makes tweets, and you saw a few of those examples.
I literally just saw it.
Where he's like,
and people complain on Twitter, something, while on Twitter. Yeah. It was like, why?
And that's entirely how he responds to it. And when he's asked, like, well, isn't it going to be easier for bots to create their accounts and bot more heavily because all it costs is $8 and to get priority? And he's like, what about people that are that might try to impersonate you with a genuine check mark now and all that stuff? And he's like, well, people already do that. It's like, they don't do it with a check mark. That's all he said.
But like going forward, is that even okay for anyone to go through with you having a verified account, but someone take a picture, a screenshot, and then say, "Oh yeah, I'm Elon Musk," and blah 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 blah.
But here's the thing: before on Twitter, being verified, that's what it's called, verified.
Right, verification.
It would be more of a symbol of like, oh, you are the actual person. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But now that doesn't mean anything.
No.
You pay $8 for it, and you don't even get no ads, which is dumb.
So he should remove that.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to remove that if you already own Twitter by now, bro? You paid $44 billion out of your pockets and acquired it for yourself. And you're going to take away, you're going to give subscriptions and $8 to be charged, but yet you won't take away people faking your name, getting clout, probably taking a lot of money, an exorbitant amount of money too on top of that. That's not cool at all.
He doesn't have a good, his whole point, which is a dumb point, is that this $8 subscription will make it so that for people who are botting and stuff that they won't be able to do it as well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense because all it requires is them to pay $8, which you're going to get more money scamming people than $8 per account.
On Twitter.
So just nonsensical ideas. And I think it's because he's desperate. He's desperate. He just made a deal that it was a horrible idea. He knows it.
Yep.
He's been firing all these top executives. Bad move, by the way, because now even middle tier executives and stuff, they're just starting to leave because zero confidence from all directions in his ability to do Twitter any justice. And people are beginning to have more and more of a hard time defending his actions, even the people that are like hardcore Elon Musk fans.
Yeah. Isn't he already like causing issues for Tesla as well?
I don't recall. Maybe a bit. I remember he just issued a mandate to Twitter, which was a mandate he issued to Tesla as well, where I think it was maybe in response to people coming back from COVID. He said, if you do not come back for in-person and work here at the
48
facilities,
hours, right?
40 hours,
40 hours,
full day, full-time work. If you do not work here for those 40 hours, then you will have to resign or be fired or whatever, which I don't see the point in necessarily, especially if the job can be just as well done.
Here's the
from
crazy
home.
part. They were already told, though, like you just said to me not too long ago, was they were already told that they could come back within a few more weeks, like that already had been passed. They were told that, and then they were just lied to, like just got fired, like
Yeah, some of them.
unceremoniously.
Some of them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's just clearly, I think Elon Musk's motivations are very much political in a lot of his decision making, which
Yeah.
for a business, not a good idea necessarily. But in other news, Josiah, do you have another topic for us?
Yes, I do. I want to talk about two names. Well, a name, but just with two words in his name. Okay. Anyways,
Okay.
Logan Paul,
Ah,
Mr. Logan Paul, isn't he
yay.
something?
What do you think of Logan Paul?
I don't like Logan Paul.
I don't like Logan Paul either.
I don't hate him. I don't despise him as a man. Like he shouldn't exist into this world. Yada yada yada. But at the same time, I don't sometimes have that amount of respect for him, nor his brother Jake Paul. More so his brother Jake. But Logan actually won me over in respect because he recently had a match with one of the biggest wrestling stars in WWE. And as you already know, I am a wrestling fan.
You
Yes.
were also making a big fuss because he was doing that for a while.
Oh, yeah. Me and you had talked about
Yeah.
this like for weeks on end. And I remember just telling you about like how it's ridiculous that a guy who comes in after two wrestling matches, he only had two wrestling matches in WWE, gets a championship opportunity. And not only is it a championship opportunity, it's the big championship, the world championship, which is the top title in the history of the business. And
Which,
I didn't like that.
to be fair, is also very goofy. But
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And the way, so I'm going to just take it way back. So I believe after Clash at the Castle, which was a WWE pay-per-view event, they had a pay-per-view coming up called Crown Jewel. Now, in Crown Jewel, they had this deal with Saudi Arabia, where they go towards having events in Saudi Arabia, that country.
What a strange place to have a deal in.
Yeah, because Saudi Arabia, for whatever reason, always steers up controversy on different levels. If we want to get political, we could, but at the same time, this is not a podcast talking about politics, okay? So, to be fair, but they wanted to have Logan Paul come to Saudi Arabia for a business deal. They're like, we're big Logan Paul fans. We want him over there. He has to perform for us. Yada, yada, yada. So WWE made a deal with him. Made a deal with them. And then they was like, okay, we got to get Logan Paul to be featured for that event. How could we showcase him in a way where, oh my God, it's going to draw even more eyes on him? They did it to where he would get an opportunity by facing Roman Reigns. Now, this is how it was set up. Roman Reigns. So Logan Paul had Roman Reigns on his podcast called Impulsive. As you already know, Logan Paul has two other guys on here with his podcast, has all types of different guests. It's good, it's bad. Sometimes you ain't gotta watch it. I don't
Go
know.
figure it's impulsive, by the way. It's very fitting of the man's character to have it be called that.
Hey, that's interesting. Yeah, I know. He probably knows because people will always give him a lot of flack, and he's just, I don't know, people don't like him at all. Or something about he just really hates his guts. But to me, I'm good. I don't have no problem with the guy. So Roman Reigns was on there as a guest. They had a good talk, and by the end of it, he made it to where his friends were talking to him about like, yeah, he be wrestling, he be beating up guys. You couldn't take him, and he's like, you know what? He said, I'll say it right now, I can take Roman Reigns. I can beat Roman Reigns. I'll challenge him to a match. I'm not scared of no tribal chief because that's his current gimmick and character in WWE right now, where he's like this mafia boss that comes in with his Samoan wrestling dynasty of a family, and he's the world champion. Like, he's been champion for like 2 years. No one's been able to beat him. He's dominant right now. So he's like, I can take on Roman Reigns. I can fight him. Let me get it. And so they have this Twitter exchange where they're just tweeting at each other back and forth, yada, yada, yada. And
It's a shame they can't do that Twitter exchange no more.
I don't know if Elon Musk right.
Yeah.
So they made it to where, oh my God, they made it to where Logan Paul the following week comes up on one of their flagship shows called SmackDown. He's out there just talking trash. His promo ability is good, but it's just like, why couldn't they? So here's my thing. As you already know, I'm a big wrestling fan. I love professional wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm kind of slow down just a little bit because I talk very fast. My biggest thing was they want him to be presented as a babyface. Now, in wrestling terms, a babyface means a good guy.
They're wanting to have Logan Paul be represented that way?
Yes. And no, but here's the sad part. The crowd were not invested to cheer him. It was just like they were just there just watching the segment as if to say like, oh, he's just here. Okay, cool. Like the crowd was literally like dead. Like they're not saying nothing.
Wow.
Literally. And he's just talking trash. Yeah, I'll beat your Tribal Chief. I'll be Roman Reigns. I'll beat every single one of you Usos. Y'all bunch of punks, blah, blah, blah. Talking all this trash, right? And Paul Heyman's like, that's why your brother Jake Paul's going to get his butt beat by Anderson Silva in the UFC, Octagon, yada, yada, yada. So it's always madness going around. And for weeks on end, they come around where he makes a special appearance and just talks and talks. And my biggest thing is, if you wanted to sell the idea that he's a babyface and he's a good guy in front of our eyes, because in America, we're true. We don't care. We're going to be letting it out. And no one in the company likes him. People just do not like him at all.
People don't like Logan Paul in the company?
I think in the company they do. Some people like him, but some are also a little bit issue with him because they took issue with him because he's getting a title shot against Roman Reigns for the top belt.
Came out of nowhere and just all of a sudden gets that stuff, yeah.
Yes, he's already handed an opportunity and after 2 matches. Whereas the
That's
guys who are actually performing for weeks are busting their tail. They don't even get that opportunity, let alone come in and saying, oh yeah, I'm a YouTube sensation and yeah, I can come in WWE, sign a deal, and yeah, after 2 matches I get a world title opportunity for myself.
Yeah.
You know?
You think that was negotiated in a contract too? I'm willing to bet something like that.
Probably, but I don't know. I really don't know.
It's the type of thing that makes you wonder.
It makes 100%. But it was all about business. Saudi Arabia apparently wanted Logan Paul to perform at their event. They wanted him because they're fans of his work. And so when he was over there, they loved him. Oh my gosh, like press conferences he's doing, he brings out his brother, they automatically love him and his brother. I'm thinking to myself like, yeah, in Saudi Arabia that will only exist, but in America, we're booing you. Boo! We're booing the heck out of both of y'all.
That's interesting.
Yes, it is.
Why? I have no idea why Saudi Arabia would like Logan Paul, but then again, I don't know why they wouldn't necessarily. Would they understand?
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
I can't split that up in a way that makes sense.
I don't know. Maybe they just admire his look. He boxed at one point, probably a fan. Because he boxed Floyd Mayweather, I would say, last year.
Maybe that gained him some fame in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, they went for like 12 rounds, I think, in that boxing bout. My biggest thing was like, Floyd Mayweather should not have fought Logan Paul, but he took him to the limit, so whatever.
Why do you think that? Sidebar. Why do you think he shouldn't have fought Logan Paul?
Because Floyd Mayweather and him are different in size, and as far as their weight classes, I don't see that actually truly matching up. Plus, Floyd Mayweather is all about money. That's his nickname. It's Money Mayweather, literally. So, like, he comes into it for a business deal. He's negotiating with Logan Paul. They may have talked that out before. It was like, okay, we're going to have this bout, and then afterwards, you get paid amount, I get paid amount, we're both rich. Boo. Handshake deal on this one. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Which, honestly, I didn't watch the fight, but is Floyd Mayweather like a really good boxer?
Yes.
Especially probably compared to Logan Paul?
Undefeated. He's never lost a bout.
And the fact that they tied their first thing is kind of weird.
Yep. They tied it to where, was it by unanimous decision that Floyd won, I think? Or
I think it eventually came to the second round, to the second fight where Floyd, I think, won. But then again, I'm not too sure.
Good question. That's a good question. I don't know. That's interesting. I mean, that's a good observation for what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But long story short, he faces Roman Reigns in the main event of Crown Jewel. They put on like a 24-minute encounter. great match. So outstanding to the point where actually I don't hate to say this, but I'm kind of going to be a little gut wrench, you know what I mean, for saying this. Logan Paul won over my respect in that match. Now, keep in mind, he already had done that in SummerSlam. They had an event where he faced The Miz. I thought the match was great, right? But this match was off the chain. I mean, that guy, for Logan Paul, for a guy who is so tall, he got hops.
Really?
He's doing frog splashes outside the ring, through the announce table. It's crashing. I can show you like video clips afterwards, bro.
Maybe I'll take a look
crazy.
at that. Yeah.
It's crazy, man. The highlights are just like highlight reel, like human highlight reel. He's a human highlight reel in general. So, yeah, it was spontaneous, honestly. So his brother was in there in the match. At one point, he got, involved facing off of Roman Reigns, his goons, his cousins, the Usos, and then the other cousin named Sol Sequoia. They're all going into this match trying to defend the tribal chief, which is Roman Reigns. By the end of it, Roman Reigns captures a spear to him. At one point, they made it to where they was trying to sell this ideal that Logan Paul could beat Roman Reigns with a punch. It was called the one lucky shot. He hits Roman Reigns with one lucky shot, pins him, and then afterwards, Roman Reigns kicks out. That means Roman Reigns did not lose. He kicks out after 2 counts. You gotta get towards like 1, 2, 3 counts as far as everything else. Kissed out. Roman Reigns hit him with a spear. 1, 2.
Spear?
Spear, which is like a guy whose head is charging at you like a football player, where I just run into you with my head and just boom into your stomach, and then bam, and then 1, 2, 3.
Sounds like that's gonna hurt your head, but well,
it actually hurts your gut. But or unless he does it with his shoulder and he hits you like that way in terms of his head. Okay. You know what I mean? So he does that, wins the match, and Logan Paul coming out of it would make news that afterwards he actually tore his knee. So he's going to be out for like 6 to 9 months because he tore his MCL, ACL, or I believe meniscus in his knee, which is a big injury. But he's a champ. He's like taking it like, oh, it's no big deal. I'm gonna be great. I'll heal up, and everyone's still like, nobody can ruin your day, Logan Paul. We want to ruin your day. We want to we want to ruin your day and make you feel bad and like, yeah, you're not gonna be away from. You're not going to perform in wrestling no more. So we want you to not wrestle ever again in WWE. Don't perform again at all. We don't want to see you perform.
Do you think that you would prefer him to stay in professional wrestling as opposed to going back on YouTube and doing the things he does?
I think I don't mind him performing for WWE. My only concern is don't make it to where he has to be the world champion quite yet.
Yeah.
Have him build. Have him win like a mid-card belt, which is like the United States title or the Intercontinental title. Have him win those belts. Have him build stories with other wrestlers. Have them tell stories about Logan Paul. If he's going to be a babyface going forward, which is a good guy in terms of the fans' eyes, then show this guy struggling. Show to where we can build some sympathy towards Logan Paul. Show to where we can actually start feeling for Logan Paul, and then we'll start loving Logan Paul.
I think,
like acting would do.
I think a good way to take it is to make him an in-between, because there's a lot of people who don't like Logan Paul, but there are people who do.
So that's the thing, though. Some people actually want him to be a heel. They want him to be a bad guy, which a heel in terminology, wrestling terminology, is called a bad guy. A babyface is called a good guy, a face. Babyface, face, whatever you want to call it. A heel is a bad guy. Some people want him to be a bad guy so much because they feel like he will be natural because no one likes him. And so no one truly likes this guy. And we're just like, bro, why not just go about that way? And then eventually he'll become so unlikable to where you're starting like, he's kind of funny. I kind of like his personality a little bit. And then they start cheering him, even though he's a bad guy. Then that's when they flip the switch. They flip the switch and turn him to a good guy, make him a babyface, essentially.
I think my thoughts on making people into baby faces is that it's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, starting out with a guy who has a reputation for showing controversial videos, making headlines through tweets, talking about he's going to fight this guy, fight that guy,
fight
and
the
then
world.
It might be rigged. His brother,
and then
Jay,
he's going to be made a babyface, which is what he's already a heel
bro.
in real life. Just make him a heel again.
I just feel like at this point, when he comes back, I don't think fans are going to cheer for him. I would think WWE, because they talk about plans about bringing in his brother. So I'm like, even that is even more annoying. I don't like Jake. I don't like Logan. Once again,
So
I don't like them.
I think
I don't.
I'm starting to have an interesting perspective on that now, thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be interesting if they went into the WWE as heels, like you were saying. I think I would prefer that because it would bring a new dynamic to the WWE if they really seriously went into it as like a full-time thing as opposed to YouTube and everything else. They can still do YouTube and whatever, but like really go into WWE as heels, embrace what they already have.
Embrace the hatred. Embrace it.
Which they already do, which is kind of like, just do that for WWE, and that would be really fun to watch.
Yes.
I think it would.
Oh man, they imagine them talking and the crowd's booming so loud to the point you can barely even hear them.
Yeah.
That's just like how it would go, but they will gain so much heel heat by attacking your favorites, by putting them down, doing what they do, all that.
I genuinely think if they went in and did that, WWE would become more popular.
It's already popular now because of what recently happened. Vince McMahon, of course, went through some allegations. I won't speak about that. It was crazy.
Oh.
So now Triple H, his son-in-law, who was married to his daughter, now has full control. He's the head creator from there. And then I think his daughter is now co-CEO with another guy named Nick Khan. So they're doing business, all that other stuff, while he handles the wrestling. So right now it's getting back to where it's popular. They still need some more eyes, some more revenue on themselves. And I think Logan Paul, the Paul brothers, as controversial and polarized as they are, would bring more eyes to the wrestling product. I will say that, yeah.
I would think it would be more interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I would be willing to watch them if they became heels. I don't watch WWE. I did a little bit when I was younger, but I think that would be interesting because I would be like, I want to see who they go up against. I want to see how that goes.
See them fight and just get.
Granted, it's going to be, scripted and whatever, but it'd still be fun to watch.
It's theater. Like, it's literally what it is. People always ask, this is what I was talking about on our Pat Peace episode, where it was like, people be like, well, why do you watch wrestling? It's so fake. It's so fake. And I'm like, it's entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like, I don't go tell you, bro, don't watch a movie in the theaters, like, because that's literally what you're watching, make believe.
That's got a preordained ending.
It's the same thing. It's like the same thing with wrestling. It's just told more in a long-term story. And on top of that, you have actual athletes performing where, in hindsight, they're risking their lives for your entertainment, meaning that they could potentially either risk injury or even death. It can become real.
To be fair, some of those stunts they do is actually crazy.
It is. It is.
Especially
insane.
back in the day. They used to have like, what? I think maybe Colin talked about this. I don't remember. But there was like thumbtacks on the ground and stuff.
Yes.
And I was like,
yes.
ugh.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in that time.
Tables, ladders, chairs. They got sail structures where people fall off of sails. Like this one guy took a big bump. Bump in wrestling is considered a spot where a wrestler takes a certain bump to where it looks really good. He has to sell the idea that he's actually hurt. Of course, some can be telling that.
You might need to re-explain that because I don't know what you mean.
So, like, for instance, if I'm in the ring with you and if I run you towards the ropes and I hit you with a shoulder tackle, like probably something along the lines where I grab your shoulder and I hit you and your back lands flat on the mat, that means you took your first bump. You can take it. It hurts. But you have to sell the idea that you're not going to also, like, affect you too bad unless... Well, no, you have to sell the idea that you're actually hurt, but it's a bump. It's what you call a bump. It's where I hit you with a backdrop, or if I hit you with a punch, or if I hit you with a back breaker, which is where I take my left hand on your back and my right hand on part of your, like, a foot or a leg or something like that, and I hit you with a back breaker, and then...
With your knee?
With my knee, literally.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? To the ring. So,
yeah.
It's interesting.
All right.
Wrestling is crazy.
Yeah.
And anyone can do it. You know what I'm saying? Any celebrity can get into professional wrestling and enjoy themselves. Logan Paul may not be your most liked. I get all that. But the guy can entertain, and he can put on a great show. So, to call for it, I salute him. Do I salute his brother Jake? No. But
why do you prefer Logan Paul over Jake Paul?
Because Jake is fake.
They're both fake. What you mean?
I mean in terms of, like, I don't know. I don't feel like, and this is me just saying this out of respect. I don't feel like the Pauls bring enough legitimacy to their names.
True.
What I mean is, Logan, and Jake Paul like to go about saying we can do all this outlandish stuff. We can fight these boxers, fight these MMA fighters, go into professional wrestling. And the biggest thing coming out of it is whether or not you're legit. You are realistically trying to hurt someone and then win the fight. Jake, some of his fights have been rigged, and people can see that, but yet he gets over with it because of money. Either because of money or some other different thing.
What do you think about the Floyd Mayweather fight, though?
With Logan?
Yeah.
So they made it to where he went the distance he was going the distance with Floyd, and by the end of it, no one, could have beat him. But they made this claim that at one point, Floyd was bodying him in his body shots, with his body shots towards Logan's stomach area, his abdomen and everything like that. And they said Logan was having trouble breathing. So my biggest thing, why didn't Floyd capitalize on that, knocked him out, even though he's really taller. He's like about 2-3 inches taller than Floyd. And I'm like, you could have easily knocked him out because Floyd is very quick on his feet, you know what I'm saying? And his jabs as well. So it was just a little like, they made it to where Logan Paul just survived with Floyd Mayweather. He didn't ended up having to beat him, but he kept talking about, I'm going to knock out Floyd Mayweather. I'm going to knock out Floyd Mayweather in the promo.
I think it was just... from everything I heard about it, I did not watch the fight itself, mind you, but from everything I heard about it, it just seemed a little, I don't know, like suspicious and stuff, but whatever. Yeah,
it's just suspicious with them. It's just always some rig, shoot up, talk about it before we get into the fight nonsense. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, make it feel like as if like you're really trying to beat somebody.
Actually try the fight.
Yes.
I know he'd get slaughtered, but it'd be funny.
I want to see that so bad. I'm just like, bro, I'm hoping Jake Paul gets knocked out. I'm hoping Logan gets knocked out.
That's what everyone wanted to see.
I want to see that so bad, bro. And it feels like they're paying so much amount of money to where they can get past not seeing themselves get knocked out. Even though we know for a fact, like
Floyd Mayweather should have
knocked you out, or Mike Tyson should knock you out. You know what I'm saying?
How?
I would love to see Mike Tyson fight him.
Mike Tyson would not take that fight because he would actually knock him out.
It would be brutal.
Yeah.
Logan Paul would probably be like, I regret even taking this fight. I would love to see it though, just to see him like get knocked out in general, like crazy.
Yeah.
Same thing for Jake Paul. Jake Paul, get knocked out, please. So, Anthony, bro, do you have another topic to address, bro?
Yeah. So, in Roblox, there was this Roblox game developer who was found out. This actually happened a few years ago, but he was known an open child predator.
Wow. Yeah.
And he was very open about it, too. This was a case that was talked about a few years ago, like I said, where in his Discord and stuff, and a whole bunch of evidence came up where he was very clearly a child predator. Previous victims had come forward talking about him. You know, all the weird things he would say and show the Discord thing. He had a very big game on Roblox, and he used his community and how big his game was to effectively try to groom children through Discord.
And these were minors, right? Like,
yes.
I'm not quite sure what minor it was, but it was a girl at one point who came up to him. She was about 15 years old, right? And he's like in his early, like probably late 20s or something like that.
Whatever it is, it's way too old for.
Yeah, way too old, and that's definitely against the law. Not to mention that, what even more sucking is that, Roblox has a policy for this, and they ignored the policy all until, and he got away with this for roughly 2 years, I think.
There, as of right now, are still many active child predators on Roblox that Roblox does not take this issue very seriously whatsoever. Yeah. They choose to ignore it, and when they are prompted about it, they do not respond. They do not care. Even like in an email sent to one of the actual Roblox developers, not like a game developer, but an actual developer.
Yeah.
They said in response to at least banning this person who was very clearly an active child predator, they had all this evidence for it and stuff. They said, and I quote, "Even if they did, they could just add it back again.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. And we watched this from another YouTuber's video.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, having watching this. And
shout out
everything.
to Moist Critical. We were looking into his
Shout
stuff.
out to him.
And I was watching stuff about him before when he was talked about 2 years ago by the people that were talking about how Roblox actively allows for not only that behavior, but also it is facilitating in a form of gambling itself. Through how its items work. They kind of go on a sort of stock market type thing as well. That's where funny. Children are facilitated to spend real money for these items.
That is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And all the while, they don't even know what was going on behind closed doors.
It's not that they don't know. It's that they don't.
Well,
they
did know, but they just didn't really kind of like exploit it out like that to a certain degree. Yeah, I got you. Was there a YouTuber that took notes of this and made it like to where it was? Because I think he went through a lawsuit about this. What was his name again?
His name is Ruben Sim.
Ruben Sim, okay.
Shout out to him, by the way. He did a very fantastic job of talking about the situation himself. He's the original video talking about it.
Yeah.
But Ruben Sim also had a $1.something million lawsuit against him by Roblox. Basically because he was making Roblox look bad.
Wow.
He was talking about all the terrible things that were happening on Roblox and stuff. And so they were putting a $1.7 million lawsuit and wanting a percentage of all of his videos ever made and everything.
Yeah.
They tried to do that in the hopes of trying to silence him completely.
Yeah.
But Ruben Sim managed to beat the lawsuit, made Roblox look even worse because he did beat it. Yeah. And then he knew
what he was talking about.
Yeah, he still actively spoke against these active predators and stuff. And what ended up happening is that this predator, he actually paid a Uber driver around over $1,000 or something to take this 15-year-old girl across state lines, 700 miles over to his apartment to try to,
Yeah.
But,
Oh, yeah.
Luckily, the police at this point were involved because the mother, after noticing her child had gone missing, she notified the police, and they had been watching him. And when the girl got there, the FBI came in, busted him, and now he's got 2 life sentences.
2 life sentences, yep.
And $500,000 in fines.
Good God, yeah. Well, justice was served, you know what I'm saying? So that's the good thing about it overall. But having to get his comeuppance over there. But he was able to get away with a lot of it's hard for me to describe it, but he was able to get away with a lot of bad things that he would do, like that he would allude to, but no one will figure it out to point him out to being a predator or whatever it was sexually that he was doing that was not right at all.
The funny thing is that this all really could have been avoided.
Yeah.
Because Ruben Sim noted that Roblox the entire time had dragged their feet on doing anything about it. The thing is that Roblox, due to developers having to give some money and stuff to have all the developer tools and stuff, they had all his personal information.
And they had policy.
Yeah, they had policy against it, and they refused to give it up.
That's crazy.
Just because.
That's crazy.
They didn't want to deal with it. They didn't want to take it very seriously.
And he was allegedly, well, not even allegedly, because it was actually true. He was doing this around for 2 years, right?
So technically, the case is still going on.
Okay.
However, it is clear as day.
Yeah.
So allegedly, I don't even want to bother with that term.
You're going down, bro. You was going down.
But what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, because I think he was doing this since he even developed something around in 2017 where it says about a science simulator for Roblox, and he brought that into there. Some other different things he was doing to grow the community for Discord, and then there was a lot of toxic behavior that I was being able to take notice of, not to mention sexual things exploited by minors.
Yeah. It's a terrible situation all around, and I feel for all the victims of this person as well as others that still reside on Roblox to this day. It's just terrible, and Roblox needs to get through some serious consequences in order for them to actually start doing things, I think.
When you think about this, it's funny because last time we addressed a matter like this, it was over like Twitch, and it wasn't as similar, but it was kind of like still in some ways where it was very controversial. Like with Twitch, it was them allowing gambling. And the guy who was embezzling a lot of money from all those, I guess, supporters of his content.
Real quick side note, another shout out to People Make Games. He made a video on Roblox around 2 years prior or before, whatever it is, talking about this individual as well. So. Yeah.
And so with the Twitch, I believe it was It's Slicker. We said it's Silker. We pronounced his name, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, he was doing something that was absolutely wrong, and I believe he is going to. Is he going to jail, or is he just getting removed from Twitch in general?
It's Slicker. I think he just got major fines.
Yeah.
No. I don't remember. I don't know if anything actually came out of it.
Yeah.
When it comes to those types of things, it can always be a thing that's lost in suspension, where maybe stuff just doesn't happen with it. I don't know. I don't remember where that went.
Yeah, me neither. I'll have to look it up.
We'll look into that probably in a later episode.
100%. We'll say this though, it's funny that Twitch allowed gambling for that. So they just allowed it for their content and wasn't paying it no mind as if it was going to be a big deal. Where it turned out to be a major deal in the long run. Yeah. The same could be said for Roblox. The only thing with Roblox is this is a lot more worse. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a policy that mentions don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
And y'all did not jump on it right away. And not to mention what makes this even more worse is that the guy who was being arrested and sentenced to 2 life sentences?
2 life sentences and $500,000 in fines.
Sheesh. But he's going through all that while there's other Roblox users or developers that are doing the same exact thing that he's doing.
They're doing the exact same thing.
And they're not countering with the option of we got to get them down as well and sticking to it, because if you don't, it could hurt your product, your brand, your legitimacy, and your reputation as a whole.
Yeah. Right now, I don't think Roblox's reputation is doing good whatsoever. Because, like I said, this stuff was brought up 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it took 2 years for this guy to get got by the police. No thanks to Roblox.
No thanks to you guys, and sorry, y'all gotta get better y'all policy, get better with how y'all acquire people in y'all services, and definitely hammering home. If they do that, they will fire. I will file termination immediately. Like, you will not be a developer.
So
none of that.
Here, just to preface, game developers on Roblox, they are not legitimate developers. They aren't paid by Roblox. They are, but it's like it's in the same way how Steam games are different. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
They're developers for the games, but they're not necessarily internal developers in Roblox.
They're not going behind the scenes working with Roblox, getting with producers, all that stuff.
So that's a side note, but still.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yeah, man, this is a pretty heavy topic,
yeah.
But I like that you addressed this because it matters. And for those that's going through, like, once again, prayers and we send our happiest thoughts to the victims who had to go through this stuff, because it shouldn't have happened. And hopefully y'all have learned from that experience to share a public speech or something about it, because it needs to be put out there that when things like this happens, it needs to be dealt with immediately.
Yeah. So I think this episode's going to be cut a bit short, but I think this is a good place to end it.
Yeah. Also, for those that support the King Life podcast, sorry for stuttering just now, go right ahead and, we got to update them about our movie trailer reaction. Or
right. We're going to... So right now it's going to be released normally, but we are intending to potentially release it at a later time with more additions visually and stuff. It might not be anything crazy, but we're we're wanting to make the videos better for the viewers all the time.
And we'll be in the process of getting that done. Remain comfortable if we have to for it to be, put out there and released. So we're still working on that. Go right ahead, support us, follow us through Spotify, any other Apple podcasts y'all have out there, Deezer, whatever podcast you listen to as far as the site, we'll be on there. And follow us on our YouTube at the King Life Podcast. You'll see all our videos on there, updates, everything else. So yeah, we love you guys, and hopefully y'all can go in and tune into this again eventually in the near future. With that being said, King Life, we are out.
See you guys.